On Thursday, the 7th of September 2023, 18-year-old Mason Sisk was sentenced to life in prison without parole for killing his entire family in 2019. On the 27th of April 2023, Mason was convicted of multiple counts of capital murder for the shooting deaths of his father, 38-year-old John Sisk, his stepmother, 35-year-old Mary Sisk, and his younger sibling, 6-year-old Grayson, 4-year-old Aurora, and 6-month-old Colson. At around 11 p.m. on the 2nd of September 2019, authorities were called to the residence along the 25,000 block of Ridge Road in Elkmont, Alabama, and spoke with Mason in the driveway. He said he'd been in the basement playing video games when he heard gunshots from the main level of the home upstairs. He told deputies he ran upstairs and heard footsteps, then went out the door to see a vehicle pulling away. Inside the residence, deputies found each victim had been shot in the head while lying in bed. Mary, Aurora and Colson were found dead on scene. John and Grayson were taken to hospital, where they later succumbed to their injuries. While deputies continued talking to Mason, deputies noticed discrepancies in Mason's statements, so they took him to the station where he confessed to killing his family. Mason showed deputies where he threw the handgun after the shooting, which was found on the side of the road near the residence. Authorities said that the firearm was in the home illegally. Authorities added that the family had returned home from a holiday weekend trip to the beach, and Mason stole a gun from the family's host. Mason avoided the death penalty as he was only 14 years old when he committed the murders, but will instead remain behind bars for the rest of his life. Two Coleman County Sheriff Office employees are dead from an apparent murder-suicide. At around 2:45 a.m. on Thursday, the 7th of September, authorities responded to the Seaside Beach and Racquet Club at 24522 Perdido Beach Boulevard in Orange Beach, Florida, after receiving a 911 call about a shooting in the common area of the condo. When officers arrived on scene, they located a deceased man and a woman lying in a pool of blood. Investigators said that 28-year-old Deputy Kenneth Booth Jr. fatally shot his dispatcher girlfriend, 23-year-old Lexi White, when an argument escalated. He then turned the gun on himself. Sheriff Matt Gentry said our hearts go out to the families of all those involved. Lexi has been part of the sheriff office since she was 16. I'm literally heartbroken. I feel like Lexi is one of my own kids, he said. On Monday the 4th of September, 32-year-old Troy McAfee was arrested for keeping his 7-month-old baby girl in the same hotel room as her dead mother's body and not reporting her death. Police said they found his girlfriend, 34-year-old Jerry Mays, unresponsive on the bed when they conducted a welfare check on her on the 2nd of August at room 153 at Days Inn and Suites on Lebanon Road in Sharonville, Ohio. When officers first arrived, they said Troy looked surprised to see them. They asked to speak with Jerry, and Troy told them that's what we just called for. Jerry was unresponsive on one of the two beds in the room, but he told police she just passed out and then audibly laughed while saying it. She died from a suspected drug overdose. A 7-month-old girl was found wearing a sword onesie designed for a 3-month-old. She smelled of cigarette and marijuana smoke. The formula inside the bottle was curdled, and she had untreated diaper rash. Her hair was matted and unkempt as if she had not been bathed for quite some time. Authorities said that she was reluctant to straighten her legs, as if she had been kept in a car seat for exorbitant periods of time. The baby never attempted to crawl or roll over when on the floor, which is inconsistent with her age. First responders said that Jerry was found dead in full rigor mortis, with lividity present, indicating that she passed away several hours before police arrived. Troy claimed he found her only about an hour or two before police arrived, and waited like 10 minutes before trying to get help. He also said he tried to put her in the bath to try to bring her back and figure out what's wrong with her. He told police she has cancer and that she passed out and was cold and blue. In addition, he told police he didn't have a car and claimed to have called like 20 people despite earlier stating that his phone was dead. Police determined that Troy gave evasive and inconsistent statements. He also never explicitly stated that he called the police or ambulance. Police said that an anonymous caller wanted them to check on the infant. Officers said Troy was a suspected drug dealer and had been selling drugs, specifically crack cocaine, to a woman and a man who were in the hotel room and spent the night with him, Jerry and their daughter. They said that all parties had smoked crack cocaine last night, except for Troy who smoked marijuana with a child present. The couple privately admitted to police that they arrived at the hotel the night before and smoked crack, and so did Jerry. They said Jerry had been awake at 5 a.m. and the man heard Jerry and Troy arguing, and Jerry complained of her chest hurting. She refused an ambulance when she was asked if she needed one. The couple said that Troy woke them up about 15 minutes before police arrived. They said they didn't know that she was dead, but knew something was wrong because of the way that Troy was acting. The couple said that the welfare check may have come from someone in a nearby room because they were talking very loudly. The baby was checked out by paramedics, taken to the police department and eventually released into custody of child caseworkers at the Hamilton County Department of Job and Family Services. Police determined that the man and the woman in the room with Troy were wanted on warrants related to court orders or judgments. The Hamilton County Heroin Task Force said they found suspected narcotics and drug paraphernalia in the room, including loose white powder, a piece of folded paper containing white powder, a white plastic baggie of white powder suspected to be heroin, and Xanax pills. Troy is charged with child endangering and failure to report a death. He was booked into the Hamilton County Jail at 1:10 p.m. on Monday the 4th of September, with bail set at $26,000. The investigation into the matter continues.